Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US daily stocks for Wednesday, May 4th. Just looking at the SPX here, I just want to point out that we didn't see any increasing volume to follow through on this one. In fact, this bar here, even though it was strong, was even lower than the previous downtrend here. So we're getting moves to the upside, but they're going up on lower volume. So in your indicators, you would see that as divergence. So yeah, as we mentioned yesterday, as somebody pointed out to me, that we could count this, from an A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and be completed here and go up to the upside. Now, look, sure, that's a possibility. But when I look at some of the stocks, they just haven't finished to the downside. But look, I could quite easily be wrong. But what I would need to see to the upside here is I would need to see a nice impulse wave, a nice 5-wave structure. So currently, this particular one here that I'm looking at it as an A and a B and C, so that would only be 3 waves up. So I'd still need to see 5 waves up here. I can talk about that on another chart, but I just wanted to show the volume first. So what I was looking for was an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 2. Okay, now if I was wrong, and I'm happy to say that I'm wrong, I would need to see 5 waves up like this, of a decent size. I mean, I know that's 5 waves, but I'd need to see 5 waves up here, and it would be very helpful for me if I had support on top of group 1, which is the 4,300 on the S&P 500. So I would look to call in long trades at that point. So I think that it's important that I mentioned how I would be wrong and what I would do about that, and that's how I see it. Okay, so I know the Feds are doing their interest rate thingy shortly. So with this situation here, I've got from the top here of wave 1 and wave 2 here and down for wave 1 here. We didn't get down to that point, so I'll just get rid of that. I'll just leave it there because I need it for the other video, I guess. But I could look at it as an A and a B and a C wave in here to the 50-60% retracement level here, and put that wave 2 just in here. That's possible. But it does appear that I've got 5 waves here with a correction, and then it's not a very nice wave 1 up here, I have to admit, but on the cash market, on the SPX, it looks a little bit better. So 1 here, an ABC here for 2, and then going up here for 3, 4, and 5 up here, and just going, somewhere above the 4.2 here to the 4.4230 or 50 or something in that area. So anyway, I just thought that I would start the video off today on this basis because yeah, it is what it is, and we'll see how that sort of plays out. Okay, so with this, if this is correct and we're looking for another session to the upside here, because normally when the rates things come out, we'll see a spike in the markets and then it fades up. It's buy the rumor, sell the fact type of situation, I think. So yeah, we're still looking for further upside, and let's go in and have a look. So with Apple here, I'm just on the 100 tick and I'll stay here. It's a little bit, I could go into, if we were going to call a low in here, I would need to see 5 waves up here, which I'm not seeing at the moment, but I would, I won't go into a long story about this, but the situation is that we've got some trades here, and we've taken some money off the table here. I don't like things turning into losses. So when we come to a large number like this here, the large number is always the battleground for support and resistance. So if you're patient enough, you will see if a market is going to find it as support or resistance. Even having, this is this is probably good enough to have the first high in place for this, with the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. We seem to have a little 5-wave structure here, so it could fail from here, but I do need to protect these guys here, you know. So as I mentioned with the S&P, it's likely that we can go up further, and if that's going to be the case for the Apple here, then I'll need to probably change my count coming down here, but I'm not going to get into that today. I've had a bit of a look at it and got a few ideas in my head, but I won't get into that today. I'll just allow this to play out. And in this case, if I was going to turn bullish, I would need minor group 2, the 65 here, as the support, because coming, you know, leaving 150, the next sort of thing, really. I mean, there's lots of important numbers between 150 and 165, don't get me wrong, but this is a medium level, and then we go into minor group 2, 65, 72 and 8. So I would need to I'd need to move into this box basically to change my mind, you know, and I would need to see an impulse wave up here, and like I said, I'd need to see 5 waves to the upside. So it could be in place here, but I doubt it, because I can see that the S&P needs to go up, so we're going to end up going up here, but I have to protect what we've got here. And I've been looking at another count, but I won't go into that just yet. We've got enough problems at the moment. So it does look like there is, oh no, we could look at that as an A and a B and a C, I guess, yeah. So expect a bit more upside with all of these. And Amazon, we can see the stochastic sort of pulling back here. We're only on 100 ticks, of course. We could, you know, call this down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and be finished here as well, but we haven't come low enough in the bigger picture we need to come down here. I don't need to do anything really, but you know, I feel like we do need to come down further in the bigger picture for all of this. But at the same time, we're looking at a correction here. So if I'm looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and we've been talking about this over the last few days, looking at a 38.2% retracement level. I still had that as the little wave 2 possibly in there. So let me just get rid of that. I thought that was a little bit high. I'm thinking to myself, how's it going to get there in time, you know? So I take the sort of wave 4 1 lesser degree to a point and over here, and that's where we'll be at that stage. So we just adjust these. I mean, it's that's why I put the trend line in here between the 2s here, because it's very typical for this trend channel of 1 and 2 here to break wave 4, to break the trend channel. So that's what it does. I always just expect that. So we'll see how that sort of plays out, and we'll be able to use that trend channel to get a short trade back in here as well. Normally I'd sell in the box, but because there's a slim possibility that a low can be in for the S&P, I won't do that. We'll look for a better setup at a bit later. So I'll put this over at wave B over here a little bit. I'll just put it over here for the time being. So I mean, that could be there as an ABC and done and dusted, but that little move in here, it looks a little bit overlapping with its wave structures, so it will probably move up. I also want to protect the position as well. When a market, you know, if I've got a short position in and the closest largest number like this one here, in medium level, is going to find support, well, that's my exit, you know. And we've already got the little first high in the market. We had the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. I mean, we could get a bigger series of that as well. But yeah, I don't want to stick in the market if that's the case. Looks like we've taken some off the market over here for that. Yeah, so anyway, that's what we're doing with, anyway, these are only thoughts anyway, you know, they're always just thoughts. It's every man, woman and child for himself in the markets, and but it's good to have ideas, you know. I appreciate people's ideas, and I think they're good. More ideas in the hat, the better off we're all going to be. Right, googly. So yeah, okay, I've changed this as well because as you know from the S&P, we're going to go a little bit higher, and that's going to give me a little 5 waves move up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so that means we'll have wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C here for that. And also too, that we talked about yesterday, using the classic trading levels pattern here, the first high above the level and look for the second high. So we're going to take a percentage off here. You could take the whole lot off if you wanted to, but I kind of wanted to ride this out because we got some really nice trades up here, and we should end up down here. We're nearly to the end, you know, yeah, we kind of I don't know, yeah, there we go. So let's just see. Once I will stop out if we get if we push up here in 5 waves, anything above the 5 waves, and then I'll get out at that point, as I mentioned before. But you can shave some off here, and we can look to get back in after we've got our first impulse wave down, which will probably come into here. Be something like that. Anyway, that's where we are with Google. So yeah, all okay there. And Meta. So with this one here, we're looking further to the upside for this. We need 5 waves up there. So I'm just going to copy this here. It'll be a little bit short. I can't put wave 3 there. That's wave 3 is going to be a little bit further up here, I think. But that's a bit too long at that point too. Anyway, I'll just carry on here for a moment. Let's just see what this is tomorrow. I mean, I'm more interested in we don't have a position in here now, so I think we had a stop here, I can't remember. But we'll look to the short side when this is ready. It's minor group 1 with minor levels 1, 2 and 3 in there. So yeah, we're looking for 5 waves from wave B to here. I don't think we can, that would probably, I mean, I just normally look at that as being wave 1 here, you know what I mean? And then wave 2 here, and 5 waves in the 3rd wave, 4th and 5th. So we probably end up a bit high, but it's such a long way and it has to sort of travel pretty quickly for this. Just gather some more information on this, but you could go long above that second high there if you wanted to, above this high here. I mean, it could be a top in there, could it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that low goes out, that will sort of put more of a bearish spin on this. That's 5 waves and ABC. I mean, you could look at it as an ABC pattern. I'll just try and look at it in different ways, but we'll just gather a bit more information on that before we do anything. And Microsoft. So yeah, let me just get in a bit more data here for this. So we're coming down. We've had this spike from earnings or whatever it is, and we're sitting on group 2 here, but we've got this impulse wave down. So I don't know if we've got an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here. For a B wave or wave 1 here, this B wave may need to go over here for this. We do have short trades in here. They do need to protect it, and that we're sitting on a level now. You know, I'm looking at this here and I'm thinking, this is corrective at this point, you know, this is corrective here. So an A and a B and a C for the A wave and a B wave. But see how we're sitting on here nicely? We can actually just drop that down to that level there now. We can go short, but we need a classic trading levels pattern at that 280 to do that. So that's going to be something else. So yeah, it's kind of so the thing is, I don't have I mean, I could look at this from the top here. I could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, as 5 waves down, but it overlaps, so I can't give it much credibility at that point. The fact that it's sitting on this level here tells me that it's migrated from being resistance to support, so that creates a long trade for me. We have to protect these, and because it's sitting on this top of group 2 here, I have to respect that. So I don't want to do nothing and see the market move up to here in some way or another before moving down, you know. So yeah, we're just going to protect that. We'll see what it looks like. I've either got an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave up here for the B wave, or I've got wave of all the B waves here. That B wave is here, and we've got wave 1 here, and we got back for wave 2, or even another push up and then down. But we can't short it. We need to protect them, and we can't short it. We've got that as resistance, or we're up here somewhere and we can see more price action and get a clearer picture of what we're at. But in the here and now, we do need to take protection on Microsoft. Tesla. So with Tesla, we are also we've got a position here and here, and I think we may have even had one here, but we do need to protect that now here as well. So if this is just 100 ticks and this is my preferred bearish count, there is a bullish count for this, and we can have a low in place here. But as it stands, we've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, so it can come back. I'll put this trend line from here to here just to bring it in, to give me another sort of idea over here for that. So yeah, once again, because it's sitting on the level, that creates a long trade at that point. But in this case, we're just going to protect what we've got, but you can certainly go long from that point. So it looks like we are going to go test higher in this. So anyway, we just have to protect it. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're just going to observe what's going on with the markets before we go into the short side of it. I suppose everybody's waiting on what the Feds will do. I don't know how that affects everybody, but it'll affect different companies in different ways, I guess. So yeah, anyway, that's that. We need to protect that situation, and this will be the count as an A and a B and a C wave here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and going up for 5. So not a long journey to the upside, but I don't want to let it get away on us, you know. So as you know, there is a bullish count that can have this in here as the low. I think it's over on the 1 or 2 tick chart here. Is it on 1? Yep. So it's looking at this as the low here with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, an A and a B and a C wave here for that low to be in place. So I would want to see in the, you know, to call this in here, I'd want to see this as 1 and 2 here, and then I'd want to see waves. I'd basically want to see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to call in a major trend change, you know, and then we'll see the A, the B and the C wave. And if that's the case, if we do get 5 waves here, then we'll be buying the 61.8% retracement level at that point. Okay, so you think that we're missing a lot by all of this, but the time it pulls back 60%, you're not missing much, you know. Like I said, you can go long here if you wanted to, because as a trader, putting your trading hat on, all you need to do is put the stop under the level here. But because of the Fed's meeting, we might see spikes in the market. I don't even know when I'm not tuned into the US news and all the rest of it, but it is today, isn't it? Anyway, you know more about that than I do. Square, so no real change in Square, except that I find it a little bit difficult to call that wave C of green wave 4 up there, because it looks like it's got 3 waves to the upside. So yesterday we talked about a triangle pattern as well within all of this. I did go from 100 1000 ticks to 100 ticks and tried to have a bit of a look at all of this in here. I'd have counted it down differently from the top as well, which I'll show you because it's kind of interesting. I'll need to double check it though, not from that top but from this top here. So in this case I've called it 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then the third wave down here. So we're in a smaller fourth wave. I kind of like this count actually because it takes us down further where we need to go rather than my other count, but it still leaves us in a series of wave fours. And anyway, I was just looking at this here. I mean, we can count this move up here as 5 waves, as 1 here, an A wave, a B wave and a C wave for wave 2, and then 3 and 4 and 5. Yes, it does overlap and all of those sorts of things, but anyway, I'm not quite sure about this just yet. Like I mentioned, we could look at it as a triangle pattern as well, so we'll just see how it just continues. Normally when I don't know, but see, it's going to stick to this number. That's the beauty of it all, you know. So we'll just see how that, it may not even be a triangle, so I wouldn't bother too much about it, but it'll come out in the wash. But yeah, I'll just leave it there for the time being. I mean, this could be counted as 5 waves up here with some sort of A wave here, then an A and a B and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, so that's possible. But it's all a little bit iffy at this stage. We'll just see. You know, when the market comes down, it bounces. The first bounce is the highest, and then they just go down from that point, and then they go through and try to retest and then drop from that point, like a ball bouncing, you know, across the top, you know, the lower highs. The banks, I'm just a little bit unsure about now. That little rally is just pushed up a little bit too high. It's still difficult for me, whichever way I look at it, to call a low in the place in these for the banks. You know, it's just, I mean, yeah. Just not quite sure about this little space in here, so I can't really give any answers for this today. We've been stopped out of any trades that have been in here. That's okay, so we'll just take a little break on this. You know, I can't go an A wave, a B wave and a C wave to this point here, and that's the low, because obviously we got this the low. Then I can't call this like wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's 5 waves to this point. Then I've got this point here, so it's kind of like I've got this as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave going up here. So I just want to see how it goes tomorrow, and this is the same with JPM as well. I might need to change the count. It's just popped up a little bit higher than I expected to, but yeah, still I can look at that as wave 1 and back to wave 2 here. That's kind of where I'm at with this. But yeah, I'm not on the intraday basis. I'm not quite sure here, because I mean, obviously the interest rates are going to affect the banks more so. You know, and they could rise from here, but it's just difficult to call this wave in here as some sort of low here as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You know, it diminishes quite rapidly into that. But I suppose, you know, this leg here would be 61.8% of this one, and this would be 60% of this one. So you probably get a relationship out of it. So I could go an A wave here, B wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but it just doesn't feel right. I mean, it's possible, but it just doesn't feel right. So I just want to gather some more information on the intraday before I do anything here. So I don't have any answers for the current little rally in here at the moment for this. So I'm just going to have to leave that. Let's just see what happens after the Feds. You know, normally you get the spike, and then the next day you get the sort of, or a day or so later, you get the fading of that. So we'll see. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.